The Cubs had a 3-game series against the New York Mets, so we're going to look over all 3 of those games. We're going to look at what went right and what went wrong. All that is happening on this episode of Cubs 360. Thank you very much for tuning in to episode 50 of the Cubs 360 podcast. If you're interested in this content, feel free to like and subscribe, and also follow us on Twitter at Cubs360X. We're at episode 50 already, so there we go. 50 episodes of Cubs 360, and here we are with a series recap against the New York Mets. The second to last series for the Cubs in the 2025 regular season, so let's get right to it. So, in game number 1, Cade Horton's pitching for the Cubs. Right off the bat, Francisco Lindor hits a home run to center to make it 1-0 Mets. Juan Soto will hit a base hit to right. Pete Alonso will fly out to center. Brandon Nimmo will fly out to short. Juan Soto stole second, and Mark Vientos struck out swinging. In the bottom of the first, with Peterson pitching for the Mets, Nico Hoerner will hit a base hit to right. Happ struck out looking. Hoerner will steal second. Suzuki will ground out to Peterson. Hoerner will go to third. Kelly gets walked. He stole second. Santana hits a double to right to score Hoerner and Kelly. So the Cubs take the lead 2-1. But then Dansby Swanson will ground out to short. In the top of the second now, Brett Baty will line out to right. Marte will fly out to center. And Jeff McNeil will line out to center. In the bottom of the second, Turner will get walked. Shaw hits a base hit to left. Turner will go to second. PCA hits a sac bunt to third. Shaw will go to second, and Turner will go to third. Nico Hoerner will hit a base hit to left to score Turner. Shaw will go to third, so it is 3-1 in favor of the Cubs. But then Ian Happ with the double to left to score Hoerner and Shaw to make it 5-1 Cubs. And then Brazaban pitching for the Mets now. Suzuki struck out swinging, and Kelly will ground out to third. In the top of the third, Francisco Alvarez struck out swinging. Francisco Lindor, as the Mets get to the top of the rotation, he lines out to center, and Juan Soto will ground out to first. In the bottom of the third, Bush will pinch it for Santana, as Bush will ground out to first, Swanson grounds out to third, and Turner will ground out to short. Soroka pitching for the Cubs in the top of the fourth, as Bush will go to first now. Pete Alonso struck out looking. Brandon Nimmo will ground out to second. Vientos will hit a base hit to left, and Brett Baty will ground out to first. In the bottom of the fourth, Shaw struck out swinging. PCA will hit a base hit to left. Hoerner will ground it into a fielder's choice of third. PCA is out at second. Hoerner safe at second on the throwing error by Jeff McNeil. Hoerner will score on the error. Happ is safe at first on a throwing error by Jeff McNeil, so it is 6-1 in favor of the Cubs. Suzuki will ground it into a fielder's choice of short, and Happ is out at second. In the top of the fifth, Marte will hit a base hit to center. McNeil will pop up to second. Alvarez will ground it into a fielder's choice of short. Alvarez second, and Marte is safe at second on a fielding error by Swanson, and Marte will be safe at third on the error. So Lindor will ground out to second. Marte will score. Alvarez will go to third to make it 6-2 Cubs. Juan Soto gets walked, so there's runners in the corners. Pete Alonso will hit a base hit to right to score Alvarez. Juan Soto will go to third, so it is 6-3. And then Rogers will pitch for the Cubs. And Brandon Nimmo hits a home run to right field to tie the game at 6. But then Vientos will fly out to left. In the bottom of the fifth, with Stanek pitching for the Mets, Kelly will ground out to short. Bush will get walked. Swanson will fly out to center. And Turner struck out looking. In the top of the sixth, Baty struck out looking. Marte will ground out to short. McNeil will hit a double to right. Pomeranz will go in for the Cubs. Alvarez gets walked. Lindor with a base hit to center to score McNeil. Alvarez will go to second. It is 7-6 in favor of the Mets now. And then Soto struck out looking. Gregory Soto pitching for the Mets now in the bottom of the sixth as Shaw struck out swinging. PCA will line out to right. Nico Hoerner will hit a base hit to right. Rogers, meaning Tyler Rogers, will go in for the Mets. Happ will get walked. Hoerner will go to second. Suzuki will hit a base hit to center to score Hoerner. Happ will go to second, so the game is tied at 7. And then Kelly will ground out to Tyler Rogers. In the top of the seventh, Kittredge will go in for the Cubs. Alonso will ground out to third. Nimmo will ground out to second. And Vientos struck out swinging. In the bottom of the seventh, Bush will ground out to first. Swanson will ground out to short. Turner will reach on an infield single to second. Alcantara will pinch it for Turner, and he stole second. Shaw will get walked. And then Rayleigh will pitch for the Mets. And PCA struck out swinging. In the top of the eighth, Thielbar will go in for the Cubs. Alcantara is the DH. Brett Baty hits a base hit to the left. Acuna will pinch run for Baty as Marte fouls out to the catcher. McNeil will line out to center. Acuna stole second. And then Alvarez hits a home run to center to make it 9-7 Mets, fully completing the comeback as they were, previously up 7-6. The Cubs tied it and they retake the lead. Lindor will foul out to first to end the frame. Edwin Diaz goes in for the Mets in the bottom of the eighth. Nimmo's in left. Acuna is at third, and Siri is at center field. Hoerner will strike out looking, Happ will strike out swinging, and Suzuki will line out to left. Jordan Wicks pitching for the Cubs in the top of the ninth. Juan Soto will ground out to first. Pete Alonso struck out swinging. Brandon Nimmo will reach out an infield single to third, and Vientos will ground out to third. In the bottom of the ninth, Kelly struck out swinging. Bush will strike out looking, and Swanson struck out swinging to end the game. So the Cubs will runs up 6-1, and they lose 9-7. The win goes to Raley, who's 3-0 on the year, 1/3 of an inning pitched, had a strikeout. The loss goes to Thielbar, 1 inning pitch, gave up 2 earned runs and 2 hits, who's 3-4 on the year. Edwin Diaz with his 27th save of the year. He had a 2-inning save, gave up no hits, no earned runs, and he had 5 strikeouts. So not a pretty start to the series for the Cubs after choking the game away. Matt Shaw is away from the team for personal reasons, and Cade Horton, who started the game, got hurt in this game. So that was pretty detrimental to the Cubs, but the Cubs do have a chance to bounce back in game number 2. So in game number 2, Matt Boyd pitching for the Cubs. Lindor will foul out to first. Juan Soto will ground out to second, and Alonso struck out swinging. Jonah Tong pitching for the Mets in the bottom of the first, as Bush will hit a double to center. Nico Hoerner gets walked. Happ struck out swinging. Ballesteros will hit a base into center, and Bush is thrown out at home as Hoerner will go to second. But then Suzuki will ground out to a fielder's choice to third, and Hoerner will be out at third. In the top of the second, Marte will ground out to third, Vientos struck out swinging, and Nimmo will ground out to first. In the bottom of the second, Kelly will fly out to center, PCA will line out to center, and Swanson lines out to center. In the top of the third, Alvarez will get walked, McNeil will fly out to center, Taylor will fly out to right, and Lindor will ground out to second. In the bottom of the third, Shaw will hit a base hit to center, Bush will get walked, Shaw will go to second, Nico Hoerner will hit a base hit to left to lower the bases, and Happ will hit a double to right to score Shaw and Bush. Hoerner will go to third to make it 2-0 in favor of the Cubs. And then Ballesteros will hit a base hit to left to score Hoerner. Happ will go to third to make it 3-0. And then Suzuki will hit a double to left. Happ will score. Ballesteros will go to third. It is 4-0 Cubs. But then Lovelady will go in for the Mets. Kelly struck out swinging. PCA will hit a sac fly to right to score Ballesteros. Suzuki will go to third. But then Swanson struck out swinging to end the frame. In the top of the fourth, Juan Soto will fly out to short. Alonso will ground out to third, and Marte will fly out to left. In the bottom of the fourth, Matt Shaw will hit a home run to center to make it 6-0 in favor of the Cubs. So he returns from his absence. Bush will line out to left, Hoerner will ground out to third, and Happ will ground out to short. In the top of the fifth, Vientos will hit a base hit to left. Nimmo will strike out swinging. Alvarez hits a home run to left to make it 6-2. McNeil got hit by the pitch. Taylor will line out to short, and Lindor will fly out to right. In the bottom of the fifth, Ballesteros will get walked. Clay Holmes goes in for the Mets now, as Suzuki will ground out to third. Ballesteros will go to second. Kelly will ground out to short. Ballesteros will go to third. Ballesteros will score on an error. PCA is safe at first on a throwing error by Mark Vientos, who's playing third, and PCA is safe at second on the error. And then he scores on a wild pitch by Clay Holmes to make it 8-2, but then Swanson will ground out to second. In the top of the sixth, Juan Soto will pop up to first. Palencia goes in for the Cubs now. It is only the top of the sixth, too. Alonso will line out to center, and Marte struck out swinging. Sean Manaea pitching for the Mets now in the bottom of the sixth, as Shaw will hit a base hit to left. He stole second. Bush hits a home run to right center to make it 10-2 Cubs. And then Nico Hoerner will pop up to second. Happ will ground out to short, and Ballesteros struck out swinging. Savali pitching for the Cubs in the top of the seventh. Vientos will strike out swinging. Nimmo will hit a base hit to right. Alvarez struck out swinging, and McNeil will line out to right. Ryan Helsley pitching for the Mets in the bottom of the seventh. Suzuki will ground out to third. Kelly struck out looking, and PCA will ground out to third. In the top of the eighth, McGuire will be the catcher. Taylor will pop out to third. Lindor will fly out to right. Juan Soto hits a home run to make it 10-3. And then Alonso struck out swinging. In the bottom of the eighth, Swanson will hit a base hit to center. Straw struck out looking. Bush will fly out to left, and Nico Hoerner will ground it into a fielder's choice as a shortstop, and Swanson will be out at second. Savali pitching for the Cubs in the top of the ninth as he remains on the bump. Marte will ground out to third, Vientos will ground out to second, and Nimmo will ground out to third to end the game. The Cubs with a dominant effort after choking the first game away. They win 10-3. The win goes to Matt Boyd, 14-8 on the year, 5 1/3 innings pitched. Gave him 2 earned runs and 2 hits. He had 3 strikeouts. Jonah Tong with the loss, 2-3 on the year, 2 innings pitched. He gave him 5 earned runs and 7 hits with only 1 strikeout. Savali with his first save of the year, 3 innings pitched, 1 earned run, and 2 hits against with 3 strikeouts. So my 3 stars for this game, Ian Happ was my 3rd star, who went 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Matt Shaw, coming back from his absence, was my 2nd star, who had a phenomenal night, 3 for 4 with a home run and an RBI. Michael Bush is my 1st star, 2 for 4 with a home run and 2 RBIs. So the Cubs tie the series after getting embarrassed in the first one. Dominant effort in this one, and they have a chance to take the series in game number 3. So in game number 3, Shota Imanaga is pitching for the Cubs. Lindor will get walked. Juan Soto will fly out to center. Alonso hits a double to left. Lindor will go to third. Vientos will foul out to short. And Lindor will score. And Alonso will go to third. Nimmo will hit a base hit to right. Alonso will score. Nimmo gets picked off first. And Shota Imanaga was pitching to Luis Torrens. A lot of controversy on that Lindor run. Saying that he was in the net. So the ball was technically out of play. But unfortunately, the umpires did not see it that way. I didn't agree with the call, but I guess that's just baseball. Not my place to make those decisions. Regardless, McLean is pitching for the Mets in the bottom of the first. Bush will line out to left. Nico Horner will ground out to second. Happ will hit a double to center, and Ballesteros struck out swinging. In the top of the second, Torrens will ground out to short. Beatty struck out looking, and Taylor struck out swinging. In the bottom of the second, Suzuki struck out swinging, as well as Kelly and PCA as well. In the top of the third, Acuna struck out swinging. Lindor hits a homer on the left to make it 3-0 Mets. Juan Soto will fly out to center, and Alonso will foul out to the catcher. In the bottom of the third, Swanson will get walked. Shaw struck out swinging, as well as Bush, and Nico Horner will ground out to third. In the top of the fourth, Vientos will line out to left. Brandon Nimmo will hit a base hit to left. Torrens will hit a base hit to center to send Nimmo to second. Brett Beatty will hit a home run to left to make it 6-0 Mets. Taylor will ground out to third, and Acuna will ground out to third. In the bottom of the fourth, Happ struck out swinging. Ballesteros struck out swinging. Suzuki hits a home run to left center to make it 6-1, but then Kelly will fly out to center. In the top of the fifth, Lindor will fly out to left. Juan Soto will fly out to center, and Alonso will line out to right. In the bottom of the fifth, PCA struck out swinging. Swanson hits a home run to right center to make it 6-2. Shaw struck out swinging, and Bush will ground out to McLean. In the top of the sixth, Vientos will ground out to short. Brandon Nimmo hits a base hit to center. Torrens will fly out to right. Beatty will reach on an infield single to first. Nimmo will go to second. Taylor will hit a double to center to score Beatty and Nimmo to make it 8-2. Then Pomeranz will go in for the Cubs, and Acuna will ground out to second. In the bottom of the sixth, Horner struck out looking. Happ will get walked. Ballesteros hits a ground rule double, which will send Happ to third. Suzuki hits a home run to left center to make it 8-5. Stanek will go in for the Mets as Kelly will fly out to center. PCA will hit a base hit to right, but then Swanson will fly out to center. In the top of the seventh, Lindor will ground out to second. Soto struck out swinging, as well as Alonso. In the bottom of the seventh, Rayleigh pitching for the Mets. As Shaw struck out looking, Turner will pitch it for Bush. Turner struck out swinging, as well as Horner. In the top of the eighth, with Soroka pitching for the Cubs, Turner's at first. Vientos struck out swinging. Nimmo will ground out to first, and Torrens will fly out to right. In the bottom of the eighth, Happ will line out to right. Ballesteros will ground out to short, and Suzuki will fly out to center, with Tyler Rogers pitching for the Mets. In the top of the ninth now, with Taylor Rogers now, his brother, pitching for the Cubs. Beatty will ground out to short. Taylor will hit a base hit to right. Acuna will get walked. Taylor will go to second. Lindor will fly out to center, and Soto struck out swinging. Last licks for the Cubs in the bottom of the ninth with Edwin Diaz pitching. Kelly will hit a base hit to left. PCA will fly out to right, and Swanson will ground it into a double play to end the frame and the game and the series. The Mets win 8-5, and the Cubs do not take the series. So the win will go to Nolan McLean, who's 5-1 on the year, 5 1/3 innings pitching, about 5 earned runs and 5 hits with 11 strikeouts. And the loss goes to Shota Imanaga, 9-8 on the year, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 8 earned runs and 9 hits against, with only 3 strikeouts. Not a great game from Shota. And Edwin Diaz with his 28th save of the season. So there you go. So after this series, the Cubs are 89-70, and the Mets are 82-77. So the Mets and the Reds, who were the last two teams that the Cubs went against, are fighting for that playoff spot, as the Cubs at this point were locked into a playoff series against the San Diego Padres. It was just a matter of who was going to host the series. So one series left to go in the regular season, and then we will get to the playoffs, which will be Friday night, as I mentioned in the Cincinnati Reds series recap video, that this video, along with that Reds series recap and the Cardinals series recap, will all be coming out tonight, and then playoff videos will be coming out Friday night, and spring training and off-season videos will begin on Saturday. So be on the lookout for that entire weekly lineup, as well as all the content coming out between now and opening day. We have a lot of exciting content coming out, and we hope you're there for it. So give me your thoughts on this series in the comment section down below. If you're interested in this content, feel free to like, subscribe, and also follow us on Twitter at Cubs360X. And that was the 50th episode of Cubs 360. So thank you very much for all of you that tune into these videos and the content that comes out. It's going to get better from here. So anyways, I'm Zach from Cubs 360, And as always, go Cubs go.